Tesla Model Y now priced below US average for new car. The latest round of price adjustments made by Tesla to its lineup of electric cars has made the entry-level Model Y crossover more affordable than the average new car or truck in the United States, according to Bloomberg. More to the point, the cheapest Tesla Model Y now has an MSRP of $46,990, without destination charge, which is $759 less than the average price of a new car or truck sold in the U.S. It's an important development that helps change the mentality of some people who think that EVs are massively overpriced. Although there are still a lot of models on the market that cost well above $50,000, even in Tesla's portfolio. Besides the Model Y, Tesla's Model 3 has long had an MSRP under the average price for a new car in the United States, with the latest cuts bringing the starting price of Tesla's most affordable model at $39,990, which is $7,759 less than the average amount paid of a car or truck in the US. With this being said, Tesla isn't exactly making the cheapest EVs out there, with the Chevrolet Bolt EV starting at $26,500 and other models like the Nissan Leaf and Hyundai Kona Electric being priced from under $40,000. However, few if any of the aforementioned EVs have the same clout in the world of EV enthusiasts as Tesla's offerings. Even though it had a rough start 2 decades ago, Tesla seems to be doing just fine now, considering the Model Y was the best-selling EV in the United States last year. Moreover, the series of price cuts employed by Tesla in North America and other markets worldwide made some of its competitors question whether or not a full-blown EV price war is beneficial for anyone. Ford's CEO Jim Farley said that price battles are breaking out everywhere, while French carmaker Renault said last week that Tesla's price cuts represent a challenge and that it's examining its price strategy in response. Source: reposted and summarized from Julian Nystrom at Inside EVS. Tesla FSD Beta already provides high level of safety. Tesla FSD Beta provides a high level of safety. According to the company, FSD beta-driven Teslas have 0.31 accidents every 1 million miles, 5 times less than the average in the US. One of Tesla's main areas of development is the creation of better electric vehicles equipped with a self-driving function. That is why the company is working on Autopilot, which will be able to independently drive Tesla cars, delivering them to any place chosen by owners. In addition, self-driving cars, instead of being idle in parking lots when their owners are at home, at work, or on vacation, could become robotaxis that would bring money to their owners by transporting passengers on their own. In an effort to achieve this, Tesla is now actively working on FSD Beta. As of today, the company has hundreds of thousands of testers around the world, although they are mostly located in the US and Canada. In order to monitor the safety of its driver assistance systems, Tesla constantly monitors all of its vehicles, recording accidents. On Monday, the company released its 2022 impact report, revealing safety details for its FSD beta-driven vehicles. According to the data, last year there were 0.31 accidents per million miles driven involving a Tesla car with FSD beta enabled. Reference is made to the methodology for the quarterly safety report, in which Tesla explains that it also takes into account crashes in which the system was disabled 5 seconds before. Until its recent update, V11.3, the FSD beta software stack applied only to surface or city streets. It is worth bearing in mind that surface streets have a higher accident rate than highways, as they account for 30% of miles traveled but 75% of accidents. According to the NHTSA, in the US, there are 1.53 accidents for every 1 million miles. This means that Tesla vehicles driven by FSD beta are already about 5 times safer than other vehicles on US roads. Such a result is impressive. Keep in mind that FSD beta is software in development and its safety will continue to increase, while the human driver is already driving the best they can. Source: reposted and summarized from Eva Fox at Tasmanian. Tesla unlocks Supercharger network to non-Tesla EVs in a new region. Tesla opened its Supercharger network to non-Tesla EVs in China recently. Today, Tesla's pilot open Supercharger network in mainland China is officially opened. We're giving electric car owners a better charging experience and continuing to promote the charging technology and services. A better era of travel is accelerating. Tesla China's Weibo account stated, roughly translated. Tesla China's infographic also tied the open Supercharger network back to Master Plan Part 3. It noted that opening the Supercharger network would provide more non-Tesla EVs with a better charging experience and would help accelerate new energy vehicle adoption in China. Tesla is slowly launching the open Supercharger network, starting with 10 stations in Beijing and Shanghai to accommodate about 37 non-Tesla electric vehicles. Tesla also plans to open 120 destination charging stations, covering 25 provinces and municipalities, to non-Tesla EVs in China. In Beijing, the following Supercharger stations will be open to non-Tesla EVs: Baolong Building, Guihai Plaza, Palazzo Aegean, Daxing Longhu Paradise Street, and Vanke Times Center 10 Mile Fort. The Supercharger stations in Shanghai that will be servicing non-Tesla EVs include the Jiadi Center, Rujin Building, 21st Century Tower, Baoquang International Building, and Jing'an International Center Phase 1. Tesla China invited non-Tesla EV owners to download the Tesla app version 4.20.69 or later to use the Supercharger network. It provided a short and clear tutorial video instructing non-Tesla EVs on the charger process at open Superchargers. With the Supercharger network, Tesla China promises 100% charging coverage to electric vehicles. Tesla opened 1,600 Supercharger stations in China with over 10,000 charging stalls. It also deployed 700 destination charging stations with more than 2,000 Supercharger piles. Source: reposted and summarized from Maria Morano at Teslarati. Tesla customers avoided releasing about 13.4 million metric tons of CO2. Tesla customers avoided releasing about 13.4 million metric tons of Colorado 2E into the atmosphere in 2022. Tesla car owners made the biggest contribution, while owners of the company's energy and solar products helped them. Every year, humanity causes enormous damage to our planet. One of the most worrying is the constant increase in Colorado 2E emissions into the atmosphere, which is accelerating negative climate change on Earth. Tesla is a company that is making a dramatic positive impact on the world by slowing down change by developing, manufacturing, and distributing products that are carbon neutral during use and help generate renewable energy instead of fossil fuels. With that in mind, it manufactures electric vehicles, home and utility energy storage systems, and products for generating electricity from the sun. The more of these products Tesla supplies, the faster it accelerates its mission, the world's transition to sustainable energy. In its 2022 impact report, Tesla said its global fleet of vehicles, energy storage, and solar panels have enabled its customers to avoid 13.4 million metric tons of Colorado 2E. To understand the scale, consider that this is equivalent to more than 33 billion miles of driving. Tesla recalled that since its inception, the company's business model has been focused on the opportunities provided by the transition to sustainable energy. The company has developed a green energy ecosystem focused on the sectors of energy production, storage, and transportation. With its electric vehicles and zero-emission energy products, Tesla is accelerating the world's transition to sustainable energy. The company's electric vehicles made the biggest contribution to saving Colorado 2e emissions from being released into the atmosphere. Of the 13.4 million metric tons of Colorado 2e saved, 11.8 million metric tons were saved thanks to its electric vehicles. The 11.8 million metric tons of vehicle Colorado 2e emission savings estimate is based on the net Colorado 2e emission savings during the use phase of a Tesla vehicle compared to an ICE vehicle, with a real-world fuel economy of 24 mpg, of which 1.1 million metric tons are avoided through annual renewables matching for the global Supercharger network and home charging in California. Solar energy and storage saved 1.6 million metric tons of Colorado 2e. The 1.6 million metric tons of solar storage Colorado 2e emission savings estimate is based on Colorado 2e emissions avoided through generation of zero-emission electricity from Tesla solar panels, including energy stored and later dispatched from their energy storage products. Carbon dioxide, the most dominant greenhouse gas that comes from burning fossil fuels, industrial production, and land use. But CO2 is not the only greenhouse gas that is driving climate change. There are a number of other gases that significantly contribute to global warming, all of which together are quantified in one single metric called Colorado 2e. Source: reposted and summarized from Eva Fox at Tasmanian. Tesla battery capacity degradation averages 12% after 200,000 miles. Tesla revealed the average battery capacity and range degradation for its electric cars in its new Impact Report 2022. According to the company, the average battery capacity loses after 200,000 miles, 322,000 kilometers, is 12% of the original capacity. The statement is very general, but there is a chart with Model S, Model X, which suggests that we are talking solely about this platform. Even after 200,000 miles of usage, our batteries lose just 12% of their capacity on average. This is a very interesting data point, especially in comparison with what Tesla was saying previously. In 2021 Impact Report 2020, the company said that the battery capacity retention, on average, is at about 90% after 200,000 miles of usage. The new data 12% loss and 88% retention is a slightly worse result, but let's remember that this is a very dynamic data sample and some things are just rounded. Conditions might be different: temperatures, fast charging utilization, the number of vehicles sold in markets where conditions are more challenging, etc. Anyway, assuming a 12% loss, we can calculate a few things to get a general idea. Mileage: 200,000 miles, 322,000 kilometers. Capacity retention: 88%. Capacity loss: 12%, 1% per 16,667 miles, 26,816 kilometers, 1% per 67 theoretical full charging cycles, assuming 250 miles per charging, or a higher number of partial cycles. Tesla explains that it does not expect too many battery replacements, because the cars often get scrapped in the United States after roughly 200,000 miles. In Europe, it's 150,000 miles. An electric car, which lost some battery capacity, still can be used by someone for whom the decreased range from 300 miles to 264 miles, for example, is still good enough. Tesla noted also that when it comes to battery degradation, an important factor is age, especially for vehicles that are not used too often. Mileage is only one factor in battery capacity retention. Battery age is also a major factor. Retention figures at lower mileages above likely reflect the impact of age, while higher mileage values, which come from high utilization vehicles, likely reflect less influence from battery age. Below, we attached the new version of Tesla's graph with Tesla Model S Model X battery degradation. Those two cars are equipped with cylindrical battery cells 1865 format, NCA lithium-ion chemistry, supplied by Panasonic from Japan. The refreshed version of the car has a new battery pack architecture, but the same cell format. Chemistry evolves over time, so the results for the latest units might be different than the ones from 2012-2013. In the future, Tesla intends to present more data related to battery capacity retention. There are new EVs Model 3 Model Y, and new battery types cell formats as well as chemistry types, which might have noticeably different results. Performance of newer chemistries not yet shown here can vary, and we plan to expand disclosure once we have sufficient data. We guess that the LFP lithium-ion battery chemistry would be the top contender in terms of longevity, compared to the high-energy dense NCA and NCM families. The 4680 type cylindrical battery cells currently NCM chemistry, as far as we know, would be interesting too. Source: reposted and summarized from Mark Kane at Inside EVS. Tesla launches non-Tesla EV supercharging pilot in China. Tesla has just expanded its non-Tesla supercharger pilot program to China, where for the very first time, other electric cars can use Tesla superchargers and destination charging points. The pilot rollout includes a total of 10 select supercharging stations, 5 in Beijing and 5 in Shanghai, as well as 120 destination charging points in 25 provinces and cities in the Chinese mainland. Let's recall that Tesla operates more than 1,600 supercharging stations, more than 10,000 individual stalls in China, and more than 700 destination charging points, more than 2,000 individual stalls. It means that the pilot is just a small fraction of the network right now. According to the company, the first batch of non-Tesla electric vehicles that can use select charging points includes 37 models: iWays U5, BMW i3, X3, Porsche Taycan, Mercedes-Benz EQC, BYD Han EV, Tang EV, Great Wall Aura Good Cat, Dongfeng Eolus E70, Dongfeng Nissan Sylphy, Ford Mustang Mach-E Hi-Fi X GAC Ion LX, GAC Toyota CHR-EV, Hozon Netta, Geely Emgrand GSE, Geometry A, Geometry C, Zeekr 001, Polestar 2, Jaguar Land Rover I-Pace, Range Rover PHEV, Sarah's SF5, Li Auto Li 1, Leap Motors C11, AITOM5, SAIC Marvel R-FAW, Volkswagen ID, 4 Cross, WM Motor EX5, NIO EC6, ES6, Volvo XC40, Xpeng P7, FAW Audi e-tron, FAW Toyota IZOA FAW Hongqi EHS9. As we understand, Tesla will gradually expand the pilot to more stations and more models, depending on the results. Previously, the non-Tesla supercharger pilot was launched in Europe, Australia, and in the United States, where a special built-in CCS1 adapter was necessary. Europe 15 countries. Australia. The United States using Magic Dock built-in CCS1 adapter. In the case of China, Tesla vehicles are compatible with the local GBT standards. 2 charging inlets, one for AC and one for DC, so the network should be accessible natively to other models without adapters. Tesla Supercharging in China. Tesla Supercharging Station in China. Just like in other markets, to use the Tesla Supercharging network, non-Tesla EV users will need the Tesla app. It will be very interesting to see the market's reaction to this move. A boost in traffic and revenues might prompt Tesla to invest more in the network. See also check out this flooded Tesla supercharging station. Does it still work? Tesla's first V4 supercharger is now open for non-Tesla EVs source. Reposted and summarized from Mark Kane at Inside EVS.